How to add audio narration to a PowerPoint and then save that PowerPoint as a video and then upload that video into Google Drive and to get a link from that video in Google Drive to submit in an assignment in D2L. The reason we do that is because video files are too large to directly put into D2L. D2L is not a streaming server, so we want to put a link to Google Drive, which is a streaming server. And by the way, this can be done either as an individual or a group. So on PowerPoint, if you click on the recording ribbon, there is the record slideshow. The top part of the button starts always right from the beginning. The bottom part that we'll be using later can choose to start on the current slide instead. But I'm already on the current slide that I want, the beginning slide, so I'm going to click the top part. And we'll open up our recording part, and I'm going to click on record, and it will be a countdown. Welcome to my sample presentation. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next slide. This is slide 1, and if I click in the middle of the slide, the animation will show. Now, I only have 3 animation points here. If I were to click in the middle again, it will go on to the next slide. And then again in the middle, and then on the third slide. And then when I'm done, I can just click again, and it's done. And if I go to exit, now I can hear a preview of what I've played. If I go into slideshow and go from the beginning, into my sample presentation. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next slide. And there it is. Now, let's say I notice that slide number 2 is done poorly. Or this is the same thing if you're a student in this group and you're responsible for narrating one of the slides. This is how to do it. You go to the slide that you want, and we're going to make sure that when we record, we're not going to go on to the third slide. If we were, then it would erase the original recording that's on the third slide in place of our new recording. So I'm going to be careful after I get to the point 3 to not advance to the next slide. So now that I'm on the slide I want, I'm going to go into recording and then click the bottom part of record slideshow and choose from the current slide. And I'm going to click on recording. This is slide number 2. Here's the first point, here's the second point, here's the third point. Now I'm just going to exit this without advancing to the next slide. And now if I watch my slideshow, I'm going to just go up a slide and I'm going to go slideshow from the current slide. I can hear it go from the old version of what I recorded in slide 1 and the new version of what I recorded in slide 2. This is slide 1, and if I click in the middle of the slide, the animation will show. Now, I only have 3 animation points here. If I were to click in the middle again, it will go on to the next slide. This is slide number 2. Here's the first point, here's the second point, here's the third point. Okay, now I'm going to hit escape to get out of that. I can hear that it worked. And now I'm going to save this as a video. So go File. I'm just going to do a regular save at first, just to save it as the narrated PowerPoint. And then File, Export, and then create a video. And then the default's usually what you want. Just click on Create Video. And then they want to know what you want to call it. I'm going to call it Sample Presentation, overriding the old one I did before. Yes to override it. And you'll see down at the bottom, this growing bar shows how much it's rendered, how much is processed of the video. This will take a minute, so I'm just going to pause our recording while it's doing that. Okay, it's all done. The bar has gone away. And now I'm just going to go to my Google Drive and go New and File Upload. And I'm going to go into Downloads where I've put this and open up the video, the MP4 video. It's uploaded it. At first it's a red symbol, but eventually it's going to render it to be a video and it'll be a circle with a play triangle in it. But even right now I can link to it. If I right click on it and go Get Link, if I change it from the default restricted to Mount Royal University, everybody, including if I'm in a group, the other group members or team members, they can see this as well. And then copy the link and done.
as well as the instructor. And now go back to D2L, and in assessment assignments of the course that you're putting this in, click on the video assignment. Now, if they're usually set up to have a text submission that you could just paste in, but it might be set up differently. So I'm just going to submit this, and then done. Another way that it can be set up, and here's an example of a group setup, is that you have to add a file. And you can't submit it with just, and you can put the URL in the comments, but you can't submit it just as a comment. It won't let you. If you try to, it'll give you this error. And so if you do have another file that's included in this assignment, now's the time, and that will satisfy it. But if you don't, you can record an audio just saying that here's our recording. So I'm going to click on that. And usually you get a pop-up here saying you have to allow Chrome to use your microphone. I've already done that, so it's not asking me. And I'm going to click on New Recording. Here is our group submission. So you'll hear it, and you can re-record it if you like, and then just hit Add. You have to give a note. And then add that, and that will satisfy the requirement of another file, and then hit submit, and it is now submitted.